Good morning, everyone. I got distracted because I pushed the wrong button on my keyboard. How is everyone today? I am pretty warm and schwitzy, but it is Saturday. It is summer in Puerto Vallarta. What can you expect? This is Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live from Facebook Monday through Saturday at 10:30 in the morning local time, where we dissect news from our city, state, and country. We take a look at your comments, ideas, and that looks like a great idea, and suggestions. Somebody wrote raicilla, and I'm like, okay, boing, I got distracted. Yes, Albert, iced coffee with a shot of raicilla. I've never tried that before, but I don't see why not. If it's good for Albert, it's gotta be good for me. If you are watching this live for the first time, we are kind of silly here. We try to keep things in a light mood, an optimistic mood, even though we're schwitzy, and you know the drill. If you're watching new for the first time, though, we want to know. And if you let us know, you can write the word new, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. And I'll tell you a little story because yesterday something wonderful happened. A dear friend of mine wrote a little note here on the comments looking for a specific type of medication for another friend. Where can you find this kind of medication in Mexico? And the question was answered, the problem was solved, and that's what happens when we get together here at Coffee and Headlines. We exchange knowledge and information. We create a nurturing community, and that makes me so very happy to be a part of. I really, really love it. And then there are people like Kathleen, who has kindly added a capital letter Q to her comment, which means that we're going to be looking for those later on. Love the Jalisco video. Wasn't that beautiful? Yesterday, we shared a video that the day before a friend of ours from the cluster shared or suggested from Mexico City. And this is a video that celebrates the 200-year anniversary of our state. If you missed it, you can check it out in the show notes from yesterday. So there we are. If you are new, just write the word new in your comment. We'll give you a nice little welcome. If you have something really important to share, it makes a big difference because it is easier to find when you add a capital letter Q to your comment. Otherwise, have fun catching up with each other, catching up with me, having conversations, and so forth. I am going to point my attention now to the news so that I can fill you in on a handful of things that I thought were interesting for this morning, starting with a new highway from Tepic to Punta de Mita. It is pretty clear that the state of Nayarit is intent on improving its land and air connectivity, making the tourism destinations in the state more attractive to visitors. In this note, we learn of a brand new, or seems to be a new highway that will provide a direct connection from the Tepic airport to Punta de Mita. This, of course, is related to the fact that a brand new airport terminal in the capital of Nayarit, Tepic, is expected to be concluded during the first quarter of 2024. This new highway, and again, the article is not specific as to whether they're going to broaden or add lanes to the highway that is already there, or whether a brand spanking new highway is going to be created. But they say that this new highway is going to reduce travel time from the Tepic airport to Punta de Mita to only 1 hour and a half, 90 minutes, which is almost twice as long as it takes to get from the Puerto Vallarta airport to the same destination. I can certainly appreciate how Nayarit is trying to be as independent as they can from the popularity that Puerto Vallarta has. But seriously, my question to you is, if you're traveling to Punta de Mita or any other destination in Nayarit within Bahía de Banderas, our bay, would you take the new airport or would you land in Puerto Vallarta? For me, at least visually, it is a no-brainer, because if you look at this map, okay, here's Tepic, here's the capital of the state of Nayarit, here's Puerto Vallarta with our lovely little international airport, and there's Punta de Mita. I mean, just look at the difference in length or in distance between Tepic and Punta Mita and Puerto Vallarta in the same destination. So is, in the long run, the state of Tepic going to dominate the tourism arrivals because of the new airport and a new highway? We don't know, but it will certainly be wonderful for some of the awesome destinations in Riviera Nayarit, but further up the state, places like San Blas and so forth and so on. But I'm just curious as to how you feel about this idea of landing in Tepic and driving for an hour and a half to Punta Mita. Obviously, you would want to add an extra hour, at least if you want to get all the way down to Puerto Vallarta, especially if you're heading to Emiliano Zapata or points south of our city. But what do I know? We live here. Anyhow, former chief of government for Mexico City and current presidential pre-candidate for the Morena party, Claudia Sheinbaum, will visit Puerto Vallarta and Bahía de Banderas today. She is the sixth and final pre-candidate from the Morena party to visit our city in the last month. This whole shebang started with the former Secretary of Government, Adán Augusto López. He was the first pre-candidate that visited. Then we welcomed former Foreign Chancellor Marcelo Ebrard. Then we had three more individuals, and now we are welcoming Claudia Sheinbaum. All six pre-candidates have taken different approaches in their visits, some assembling big rallies, others meeting with business sectors, and others making direct contact with the people in the region. Of course, it is too early to see how things will turn out for these six pre-candidates, let alone those that are revealed from the other political parties later on. Of course, once the plot begins to thicken, we will pay closer attention to this and what each one of the candidates will bring to the table. More pressing is, of course, our weather, because we're still in the middle of this crazy heat wave. Oh, that's not funny, but it is. The comment from our snarky weatherman today says, rain stopping in 1 minute. USA, USA, USA. Well, I understand that some parts of the United States are dealing with very, very nasty heat or hot temperatures these days. So I wish them the best. I read a crazy article actually this morning that, what is it called? The Valley of Death Valley? Is that the proper name? It's a place in California, Death Valley, that because it's going to register the highest, most obnoxiously hot temperatures, a bunch of tourists are headed in that general direction. I just hope they're bringing a lot of rum, Coke and ice cubes. Anyhow, back to the weather forecast. It is 31 degrees already this morning. Humidity is at 66%. Our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 87 at present time. And our weather forecast for today, it says light rain with scattered thunderstorms throughout the day, a chance of precipitation of 37%, a high of 34, and a low of 26. Thank you, Pat. I thought it was called Death Valley. Then on Sunday, partly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a high of 33 and a low of 26. Chance of rain, 43%. And then Monday, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a high of 34, a low of 26, and a chance of rain of 78%. So maybe it'll rain. I think we got a drizzle last night, but it was just so wimpy that it didn't do much of anything. What else do we have for you today? Well, of course, it is Saturday, and Saturday we want to thank those of you that have chosen to contribute to the well-being of Coffee and Headlines by becoming subscribers. And we have one new subscriber this week. He is a cluster angel, and that would be Rob Lord. Thank you very much, Rob, for joining us. Whoa, that was a loud clap. For joining our supporters. It really means a lot to me. And of course, this is a great opportunity to remind you of our 5 community partners that are also making our broadcast possible, starting with Apache's Martini Bar, a fun alfresco bar perfect for people watching and meeting people in Zona Romantica. Best Cord Cutting TV, a locally based television service provider offering hundreds of international channels and 126 Mexican channels. Hotel Mercurio, Puerto Vallarta's favorite hotel for the LGBT plus community, featuring the legendary Beers, Boys, and Burgers party every Sunday, and a recently retiled, gorgeous blue swimming pool. And of course, if you don't want to go swimming, that's okay. Hotel Mercurio also has Bistro Mercurio, their own independently branded poolside restaurant. And last but not least, we have Joint Co-working Hotel, a beautifully appointed hotel located next to the Rio Cuadra that also offers a state-of-the-art co-working space where a variety of courses and classes and workshops are offered, including my own music appreciation presentations. By the way, I was there this week, of course, to talk about opera, and I was curious to see if there is any noticeable or photographable progress on the new cafe restaurant that is opening within the hotel, and it's not ready for prime time. But of course, next time I am in the neighborhood, I will check it out again, and as soon as the new restaurant is ready, the new cafe restaurant, we will be so very happy to let you know about it. Air conditioned, it should be wonderful. And now, before we wrap up, what do I have next? Do I do tricked out? No. I know exactly what I'm going to do next. Never mind. I'm going to save the funniest till the end. As you know, I crochet, but I said to myself, I don't want to crochet during the summer this year. I'm going to turn to beading and doing, bracelets and things like that. And I've been doing bracelets and I've been doing necklaces and all that stuff. But last night, I was here schwitzing, and I thought to myself, I need to hook. I haven't hooked in forever. So I whipped out my cotton yarn. I turned the fan at the maximum speed, and mindful of the fact that I promised some dear friends some coasters a few months ago, I started making coasters. Yay. They're small, so I won't get very sweaty. But, it is so funny when you enjoy doing something because it gives you pleasure and relaxation, which is what crochet does to me. I mean, it was hot last night, but I felt so happy to be hooking. It's not even funny. And I thought you should know. So if you miss doing something, go out and give it a go, even if it's not the best time to do it. And speaking of not being the best time to do something, we're going to talk now about stooping in public. Yes, we are. because I was duped this morning by a photograph. I went and did some research, but even though I was duped with a fake photograph, I still thought it was really funny. Um, Mexico City, the mega metropolis that is Mexico City, has an ongoing challenge of providing successful, reliable, efficient public transportation to a population of God knows how many millions of people. There's subway, there's bus, there's light train, there are trolley buses, electrical vehicles, minivans, and as of recent times, there are cable cars in Mexico City that are being implemented in certain neighborhoods where there's just no room to provide more efficient transportation. So here they are. This is called the cable bus or cable bus. As you can see, there are fairly small gondolas. I've seen many photographs of them, and they don't seem to carry more than 6 or 8 people at a time. But they take you from one place to another, and they're moving constantly, apparently. So how was I duped? Well, look at the two logos on the gondolas. And this morning I was duped because I saw this photograph with a little "Do not stoop" sign, which I thought was actually really funny. It was funny. No stooping on the cable bus. And I'm going to tell you why it was funny. Because I will be the first person to admit that when I was a teenager and I used to ride the subway in Mexico City, well, it was a frisky thing. And I'm not necessarily talking about frisky because somebody wanted to take your valuables from you. It had more to do with people wanting to get acquainted with your valuables, the ones that are not removable. But you don't need to know gory details about my teenage years and my travels through Mexico City. But I do wonder, now that Vidanta has opened their gondolas, I wonder if these gondolas have already been I don't know if somebody has claimed property. What do you call it? When cats mark their territory? I just wonder if people are stooping on the gondolas. That's it. I finally said it. If you've stooped on the gondolas, please don't tell me because that'll give me ideas to go stooping on the gondolas in Vidanta. They must have private cameras or something. But anyhow, oh God, here's Mijal. Here is Mijal. Mijal, good morning from Vegas. Going to 47 Celsius tomorrow. I'm working on your... No, that's not it. That's mine. I'm working on your coasters. I promise. Better late than never. I'm working on your coasters. And this brings us to Chit Chat section just to see what everybody is up to this morning. Thank you for indulging the stooping commentary. Have you ever stooped in public? Please don't feel... Nah, if you want to tell me, I don't care. No judgments here at Coffee and Headlines. Good morning, Sly. Good morning, Gary. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Christy. Good morning, Doug, Albert, Kathleen, Den, Ronald, Sue, and so forth and so on. It's always great to see you, and happy weekend to everyone. We acknowledge this one from Kathleen. Thank you very much, Kathleen. I love it when we trade like great videos and stuff like that. Barbara missed the show yesterday. Totally advise you watch that Guadalajara video. It was really, really awesome. Pirim pam pum. Maybe Tepic is trying to promote more of their beaches and places because Tepic has beautiful beaches also. Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I am sure that the state of Nayarit is trying to become more competitive. They're getting a lot of attention from President López Obrador, that's for sure. But for governor of Tepic to assume that simply changing the name of, say, Nuevo Vallarta to Nuevo Nayarit or expanding their airport is going to be enough to transform the strategy of arrival for thousands of passengers overnight. It's not going to happen. But you are absolutely correct, Angelica. further up in the state of Nayarit, there are wonderful destinations, not only on the beach, but also really interesting places to explore inland. Albert comments on Death Valley. Their busy time is summer, believe it or not, filled with Europeans coming to experience the near extreme the heat, the extreme heat. Some people die every year. That doesn't sound like fun. Heat extremes, yes. Gary reports Chicago has been crazy. Felt like October last Saturday. Tornadoes this week, and today is 85 with 65% humidity. Ouch. Ouch. Let's see. Fun coasters. I like 28 million plus, says Gina from Whiskey Kitchen, where I had a wonderful lunch yesterday afternoon. Let's see. Who wants to admit to stooping on the gondolas? Well, I will tell you this. If I was riding a gondola with a friend or a special friend, I would at least... I would. Why not? I said it. If you want to date me, expect to be groped on the gondola. There you go. In public. That's something better talked about in person over a drink and a smoke. I know, but you know what, Pat? We still have 2 or 3 weeks to go before we have our next meet and greet. Maybe I should have a t-shirt that says, if you've stooped in public, I want to hear all about it. No, I'm just being silly. Hello, Jess. Since it's on a gondola, are you part of the half a mile high club? That is very funny. I've never done it on a plane, which would be the Mile High Club. So I don't know about the half a mile club. There have to be security cameras. That's all I can imagine. And there have to be people watching those security cameras thinking, well, these people are so silly, they don't realize they're being looked at. Anyhow, this is our goofy Saturday coffee and headlines. I am working on the new YouTube channel that I told you about while I was in Guadalajara. I started assembling it yesterday, and if all goes well, it'll be ready through the weekend. I'm very excited about that, and I'm very excited about continuing to produce historical and cultural content about Mexico for all of us to enjoy. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you'll stay happy, high, dry, refreshed, not too warm, but very connected. Have a great Sunday, and I'll see you again on Monday morning. Take care.